Hi everyone, welcome back to my craft room. If you're new to my craft room, then welcome. Today I am redoing my picture frame that I do for every season here. I just did this one for fall not too long ago, but we're going to pop all this stuff off because I like to reuse this. I'd love to keep it, but I just don't have the room to keep one for every season. So I just pop these things off and I just redo them. So I already started taking this off, and I'm going to have to touch it up a little bit here. But this is the frame I made. I made this a while ago. It was just an old frame I picked up at the thrift store, and I glued in some balsa wood here to make it look like a picture, window frame. And I'll link that video below if anybody wants to see exactly how I made it, but that's pretty much it. I just glued some of these in here and pieced them together. So for this one, what I'm going to use here is this beautiful gift bag that I found at the Dollar Tree. I absolutely love this picture with the little kitty cat, and it doesn't quite fit no matter which way I do it, and I have to have it in, I can't turn the frame because it won't fit where I put it. So we're going to make this fit, and we're going to add some curtains to it. So we are just going to cut this bag open here in a minute. And then I'm going to use some of this fabric here I have just to add a little bit of curtain on the side here where the picture doesn't quite fit. So that's how that's going to work. And I think I'm going to leave my birdhouse on here because I really love it, but I'm going to replace the bird. I have one of these cardinals. These are from, get them in the garden section there at Dollar Tree. Now this is an older one and it has the feathers on the side for the wings. The newer ones, they have cardboard or something, like a picture of a wing, and I'm not as crazy about them, but if you're lucky you can find one with the feather ones. And then I'm going to put some pines on here. I always cut up these pine trees from Dollar Tree, these little Christmas trees that they have. And I'm also going to use some of the, the longer ones they have, the ties that you can buy. I think there's like 25 in a pack or something like that. I don't remember. I could be wrong. It might not be that many. No, I don't think it is. But I'm going to use some of these on there, and then I have some other flowers and things. We'll get all that stuff out later. But first I need to get all of this off of here. And I already popped that center thing on, and I'm going to have to use, this is the paint I used on it. I just used this light, it's a light gray. I can't see what it says on here. I can't see it because it's scraped off. But anyway, it's a light gray, and whatever color you choose, you could do it in a brown, you could do it whatever you want to. I got paint right over top of the words here, so I'm trying to scrape it off, but you know what? I'm scraping off the word. No, I can't get it. But anyway, it's a gray. It's a light gray. But anyhow, I'm just going to touch that up. I don't do anything special. Somebody asked if I would show how I take my things off. Well, actually, I just kind of pull them off like that in the pieces that I put on there. And then I just take like a screwdriver and stuff and pop off the old hot glue. And it does take a little of the paint off, which is fine because we're going to cover it back up. But I'm going to go ahead and I'll touch all that stuff up too with just a little bit of the gray paint. And then just go over it with some sandpaper to make it look have an aged look to it. And this stuff's really glued on here this time. I gotta use a little less glue on this thing because I do take these apart a lot. And this little birdie should come off pretty easy. There we go. And I can save him for another project. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna get all this stuff off of here and then just touch up my little paint spots, and then we can come back and start putting this thing together. Alright, I got most of the glue off of here. I gave up after a while because it's just a lot of it stuck, and I'm going to cover it up anyway. But I took the paint, and it's a Parisian gray. I found another bottle that I had where I could actually read it, and I just touched up my frame again and then just sanded a little bit to make it, match the rest of it. And that is all I did to fix that. So now you're going to take your bag and completely cut it open. So I just cut the whole thing open like this, and I left these sides on here because it doesn't quite fit in here. And then you're actually left with another whole picture. And this is just so darn cute. So I'll keep that for something else. And then of course I cut the bottom of the bag off too. So then I already traced around it, but I'll show you what I did. put this down here, and I just laid it down to match up where I want the image to be. And I think that's good there because you can see your Santa, and let me turn this a little more. You know, you can see the kitty real good. I need a bigger table. There we go. But you can see the kitty real good. So, and I'm not going to cut it out yet. I'm going to figure out where exactly I'm going to put the curtain pieces. So I just took my fabric and I just made them, not any particular size. It all depends on what size frame you're using. This frame is actually, the whole thing measures 20.5 inches by 18 inches, but the inside where you would put the picture part is 17 by 14. So that's what size this is, in case you want to get a big frame. And the thrift store, best place to find a frame, because this was actually like a regular picture in there, like, you know, a scenery or something. So I'm going to figure out how to get these in here. They're going to go on the inside, but I'm just kind of measuring here where I want to tack them down. So I'm thinking right about there, and I'm just going to make a little mark here where I want these to start. I think that's good right there, so it just fits underneath. And all I did was I just cut strips of this. I'm going to have to cut them off at the bottom. I didn't do that yet. I'll wait until I'm finished. After I tack it down, I can cut that off. And I just fold it in half. That way you don't have to sew anything. And then you have a big piece of fabric when you're done. So all I did was fold it in half, and I ironed a crease in it. And that was it. And then I'm going to fit this one in here. So that's going to tack in right about there, I'm thinking. And I think that'll be perfect. So I'm just going to put a little mark there so I can see it when I flip it over. And that's where that's going to go. So we're going to go ahead and tack those in. Alright, so let me make sure I get this going the right way. So I'm just going to put a little tack in here, a thumbtack actually. I don't own a staple gun. That's something I need to put on my Christmas list. Because it would be much easier if you had a little staple gun that you could just shoot a couple little staples in here. But since it's all wood, it'll be fine. I'm just going to grab some of these thumbtacks here. Just regular old thumbtacks. You can get those at the Dollar Tree too. And there we go. I'm just going to tack this in. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Here we go. Stick a thumbtack in there. Just to hold this. And where's my other thumbtack? Oh, here it is. And I'm thinking just another one in the corner is going to hold it just fine. If I can get it in there. There we go. And maybe I'll put one. I don't want to tack it down here because I actually want to pull this a little bit like this, but I got to flip it over again so I can see exactly how far. So I'm just going to put another tack here on the side. And I'm actually going to tack the picture on the back too. That way it'll be much easier to remove than, you know, like hot gluing it on or something. And since this is all wood, you can just stick the thumbtacks in. And if you don't have wood, you're going to have to use like some hot glue or something if it's more like a plastic frame. But I'm just going to go ahead and tack this down just a little bit. Like so. Alright, and then I'm just going to tack the other side the same way. Then you're not wasting anything, and if you don't, you know, if you want to take this apart after the holidays, and you have all your fabric you can use and everything, and you can use your frame over for, you can probably do it for Easter next, for spring. Alright, let's like this here. So I'm just going to take this one in this corner and tack this down. And since this is an older frame, the wood is really soft on it. It's not real hard. Thank goodness, so I can get my tack in there. And let's see, I want to put one more right here for now. And I think that is going to, sorry about my arm in the way, I got to give this a good push. And that thumbtack does not have a good point on it. There we go. And I just put a thumbtack in here, just like on this side. Alright, so let me flip this over here. And I think that will be perfect. I find my lines here. I just traced around this with a pen, the outside of the frame. Oh, that's so cute. Look at that cute little kitty. I love him. You guys probably can't see him too good right now. But I'm thinking this would look cute if I just pulled it back just a little bit on the side here like that. So, let's see. Make a tiny mark here on this one. Do the same thing over here. Try to make it match. Well, not too much, because I want my... I can do it a little bit more. Make sure I'm on my lines. Alright, so I think I'm going to bring that over just a little more. So I'm going to make a mark here. And I think that looks pretty good. Alright, so I'll stick with that mark there. So that is what I'm going to do. Just put a little pleat in them so it looks like the curtain's pulled back a little bit. And I'm just going to... There's my line. Hang on, guys, I gotta pull this way. Right there's my line. So I'm just gonna see how that looks. How does that look this way? That's good. Alright. Just tack that down on the inside. And that'll give a little pleat to the curtain. And same thing here. Find my line. Alright, let's see how that looks. Oh, I think that's perfect. Alright. And I just popped the tack out. I don't want to be doing that now. I'm going to put another one in here because I don't want it to come off on me after I get my picture back here. That would not be good. So I'm going to put 2 tacks in there just to be on the safe side. Alright, so now I'm just going to tack this down here on the bottom, and that way there's nothing interfering with the picture when I put it on. Alright. And we're going to cut that off right across here. There. And that is our curtains. Well, this one's going to be a little tricky because it has to go over that birdhouse. Hopefully I can get a tack down in there. I actually may have to hot glue this one in. I don't have room. Alright, well, you know what? I'm just going to hot glue that piece in because I don't have room to get in there with my thumbtack. Well, that's not too bad. We can pull that off when we're done. I have a little stick here to shove this in. There we go. Throwing things on the floor. Alright. There we go. Alright, so now all I have to do is cut out my picture and fix my little pleats here a little. Tighten that one up a little. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead. I'll it won't make you guys watch me do that. I'm just going to cut this out around the lines here. I'm actually going to just cut it out a little bit smaller so it doesn't stick over the edge at all. And then I'm just going to thumbtack it on the back, and then we'll come back and then we can decorate the front. Alright, I attached the picture back here. Now I ended up taping it on here because it was just way too hard to get those thumbtacks in. So I just trimmed it a little smaller than the frame here so I could just tape it down. I just used some packing tape to put it on, and then up here where I have my little hanger, I just cut that out and just taped it right on the back like so. So that is what, and I already put some of these down on here just to save a little time, and my camera's being jumpy again, I apologize. But I'm going to do the exact same thing on the top so then I can show you. I just kind of wanted to figure it out ahead of time what I wanted to do. But look how cute he looks. Isn't that adorable? I just love that picture. So anyway, we're just going to flip this over and I'll show you exactly how I put that down there. And I also wanted to mention, I forgot, is this little birdhouse I actually got at Dollar Tree. And I just painted it brown, and then I just put a little bit of gray paint on there to make it look a little weathered. And I think it's adorable. I love it. I just keep it on here all the time now because I just absolutely love it. So anyway, we're going to work down here on this corner, and that's exactly what I did on the other corner. So I took 4 of the pine twist ties here that you get. These are for like hanging up garlands and things on your banisters or whatever you want to hang with them. And I just put them at different lengths. I don't know how the other ones are that I did. And I just kind of left this one long and short here, and then just kind of bent it like that so it's going to fit around the corner. And then I took a little bit of the white paint here, and I just went over it with a brush real easy, just kind of like that with a little bit of white paint. I used the cottage white chalk paint. You can use any kind of paint, it really doesn't matter. So, and then I just took a piece of the floral wire. You can get that at Dollar Tree too, and then I just hooked them together, and that way I can glue everything onto this, and it'll make my life easier, I think, when I want to take this back off to decorate it for spring or Easter or whatever. And I have a bunch of pine cones from Dollar Tree too. I have some of the bigger ones, and these are like the cinnamon scented ones, and this one isn't too strong. Some of them are really strong. I'm going to use a couple of these bigger ones, and I did the same thing on these. I just took a little bit of the white paint just on the tips of the pine cones, and then they have those bags of the small pine cones, which I love, and I did the same thing with a few of those. And I am going to end up putting this little bird back on because that cardinal was just way too big. So, and it didn't look right. It really looked like it could just eat that cat in one little bite. So, I'm just going to bend that so it fits nice in here, and then just glue this up here in the corner. A little hot glue. And way too much again. And then I also have, where's my little finger protectors here? I love these things from Dollar Tree. Hopefully I use the right fingers. I have some of this stuff here. This is the ferns I got at Dollar Tree, and they're really pretty. They have some glitter on them, and it looks like they have a little snow. And then these are little willow branches that have like a little snow onto them too, so I'm going to use a little bit of that. And then some of the berries. They have all these berry bunches that you can get at Dollar Tree, and I just cut a bunch of them off. You know, they're like styrofoam inside, but this side's what's going to get glued down. So, and if you have some that, I had a couple here that some of the color came off of, and I just used a red marker and colored it back in. So anyhow, I'm going to take a couple of these, I gotta take these off here, willow branches here, and these don't pop off. You actually have to cut these off. Cut them off with some wire cutters. And then I'm going to put one of these going down this way. I don't want them quite this long, so I'm going to cut these really long ends off of here. And that's exactly what I did on the bottom. And then these you can move around however you want to have your little pines going. Make some go towards the window, like so. Have some stick up a little. And then I put one of these here. I'll go ahead and glue that right down. And then you you can bend these around however you'd like them. Do the same thing. I think this would actually be easier to cut off with scissors, just to make them a little bit shorter. And that one I'm going to put there, like so. Let me get my paintbrush out here. Bend these up a little. Alright, and then I'm going to take some of these ferns and pop these off. And they have some of these smaller pieces too that I like that I'm going to use. And then a couple of these longer ones. This one so it goes like this way here. I think that one's a little bit shorter. We're going to put that one right there. And this one is going to go right here, and that one a little bit shorter too. I think that looks good, just like that. Oops, we're out of glue again. I tell you, you go through a lot of glue with this. And then that one go down just a little bit. That's how I did the ones on the bottom too. They're kind of all facing down. And then I'm going to take my berries, and then these are going to go right in the center here in the corner. Now the ones on the bottom I didn't put exactly in the corner because I put them underneath the birdhouse. But up here I'm going to put these right in the corner. And then we're going to take two of these bigger pine cones. That one's a little too big. Let's see which way they're going to fit the best. I think that one's going to go like that because I think that'll look nice from the other side. They're both kind of big, but I really like these pine cones. I'm going to add some smaller ones too. So put that one right there. And on the bottom I put them right underneath the birdhouse. I think I need these anymore for my pine cones. And then I'm just going to add some of the littler pine cones on here. Put like 4 of those up here somewhere. Just here and there, just peeking out. I love pine cones on Christmas decorations. So I'll put one there. And let's see. I guess one can go right up in there. I'm losing my pine cones again. Let's see, where did I put that other little pine cone? I don't know where it went. Alright, well anyway, I put that one there. And I have no idea where that other pine cone took off to. Oh, here it is. Let's see, maybe that one can fit right down in here. I think that will be lovely. There we go. And that is all I'm going to do. Oh, I have to put my little bird on. That's the only thing I have to do yet, is put my little bird back on. I was very sad. That just didn't look right. That bird was just way too big. Alright, so let me get my little birdie back on here. And I'm going to flip this thing over and get all of the snow and stuff off of it. What you do, little guy? Alright. He goes right back on here where I had him before. I should have just left him be. Alright, a little glue here, a little glue there, and there we go. Alright, so let me get all these glue webs off of here. Find my heat gun because I can blow all my glue webs off, and I'll hang this up so we can get a good look at it. So let me get this cleaned up. I'll hang this up and we'll come back and see how it turned out. Alright everyone, there it is all finished. I love it. I'm going to hang this right out in my living room as soon as I am done in here cleaning up. I just love that bag. It is so pretty. And yeah, very simple. You just glue a bunch of little cute little things on the outside and there you go. But thanks so much for watching everybody. I hope you enjoyed this project. I will see you all next time. Have a great day everyone.